Jeff Grubb.
Jan Ochoa.
There's a letter here for you.
Oh, there's a letter here for us. Oh, well, let's check that real quick.
All right, we'll read it.
Okay.
Dang.
Oh, thanks, Van. Oh, look, we got the Castle. Is that a W? Lewis?
Yeah, Castle Lewis Times. Spring Zephyr, 7th Sunday.
Oh, sick.
I had a friend named Van. He was my boss at JCPenney.
I feel like Van is like the. I don't mean to make any presumptions on anyone named Van or your former boss / friend from JCPenney, but I feel like Van is like the dirty combination of Dan and Jan. It's like
that sounds right.
It's like a forbidden combo.
Yeah, we went to play basketball once, and he's a taller black fella, and he just blocked every single shot that I tried to attempt. So a dirty combination of Jan and Dan. I think that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
The Van that I know was a mad short king energy.
Hell yeah.
Strong as an ox though, but
listen,
a little bit of a misogynist, and that I'm disappointed in Van for. I'm just going to go to sleep now.
Is it because it rhymes with man? Probably.
Right. Jeff Grubb, this is Harvestella.
This is one of them farming games. Look, it says right there, carrot. It's a fair fantasy farming game because it doesn't say carrot.
Yeah, you might recognize this as one of the million farming games that were introduced. Was that a direct? Was that a Square showcase?
It was a direct. It was their last main direct. And it had 4 or 5 farming games in there, yeah.
Right. It's not an exaggeration either. So this is the world of Harvestella. This is our little, not town, but our little abode, I guess. And, oh, gosh, wow. I timed this out perfectly. Look at all this stuff we can harvest.
Whoa, okay.
We got stellar wheat, just dress lettuce. What? Dress lettuce?
Oh, all right.
Okay. I'm going to say this off the tippy top. I am not enjoying this game at all.
I mean, listen, there's tiles here, Jan. What's not to like?
There's tiles, and because of Disney Dreamlight Valley, I feel like I have become enlightened that I might like farming games. But I'm about 6.5 hours in. I was about to just punt on the game until a lovely Giant Bomb user implored me to just keep hanging on. It gets better eventually. So now we're at 6.5 hours.
Ooh,
and,
okay. That's a real chunk of time.
It's a significant chunk of time. And I don't think this should be given the JRPG excuse of oh, well, it takes a while to get into. I mean, look at Xenoblade Chronicles 3. But the problem is here, this isn't the best farming game, and this isn't the best JRPG either.
Yeah.
I
mean, what is the let's get into it. What is the loop like for you? Is it you're planting stuff and then you're doing that with the hopes of making more money so you can expand your farm? And then my understanding there's also a combat sequence.
Yes.
What's it like?
Exactly that. So you can see in the top right there, we have a time, and time is progressing as we're playing. It progresses faster when we're in the overworld as well. But so we're just dealing with a lot of timers. So we'll plant these seeds. We should water them. And then generally some crops will take a day to be ready to harvest. And then something I've recently unlocked is this fermenting barrel. So we can throw in different types of our crops to get juices. And then here we can create flour, and flour we can use to cook.
Got a moonshine operation going here.
Oh,
all right.
Yeah. The bummer part, though, is that it just takes so long to get everything going, specifically with the farming. So once we harvest those crops, like all this 10 pieces of dress lettuce or the 4 pieces of wheat here, we can drop them into this shipping box. And at the end of the day, when we go to sleep, they will automatically get sold, and then we'll just automatically get the money for what we're harvesting. So,
well, that sounds streamlined. What's the issue? Is it just not compelling? Is the long-term prospects of your farm doesn't seem very fun? What?
Yeah, I think it's just it's not necessarily doing this farming stuff that well.
Right.
Because like generally you're not really monitoring this as the day progresses. As soon as you plant the seeds, water them, you just check on them the next day. Currently,
so it's just your daily chores.
Exactly. And you can see in the span of time of explaining that and showing the shipping box, we've already lost 2 hours of the day.
Oh, geez.
Throughout the world, there will be like little on our map here. You can see like, oh, there's different pickups to go along your route. So here we can gather, we got some lumber, some raw materials. The other thing with farming is that it takes up stamina. Stamina is that yellowish meter below our health meter there.
Right, okay.
And that will replenish as we eat. But if we're dashing and constantly running, that's taking up all of our stamina.
Oh, that was all bad. Those are huge pieces of your stamina bar that are just getting eaten up there.
And you know, the other part is we're 6.5 hours in, which I feel like is a good chunk of time to just introduce as many systems as possible to the player, right?
Yeah.
Specifically with farming games, like I checked out Stardew, or even something as simple as Minecraft. Like you kind of just get into the weeds, but I haven't unlocked fishing yet, and it's like 6.5 hours in.
Weird.
2 hours into Sonic Frontiers, I think you could start fishing.
Yes, that sounds right.
And so this is the general farming loop. So we're kind of done for the day. With the money, we can go. Well, let's just visit town, actually.
Yeah, show me. Like, what are like your long-term goals with your farm? Do you have any? Does it support that kind of thinking, or is it just like, you know, that you're farming what it looked like, you know, maybe a dozen and a half tiles there of stuff, and is that really all there is so far after 6.5 hours?
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like in other farming games, after six hours or so, the farm would be much more well established.
Yeah, it's super expansive, like almost automated.
Right.
Gosh, I forget. There was an indie game that came out that was kind of like a Pokemon-esque. Not Temtem.
Not Temtem. No.
Ooblets.
Okay, Ooblets, right.
Was a great farming game because you wound up being able to automate stuff. So this is the town. The renovator here, we can pay them to upgrade our farm size, to build us a pen for, I'm assuming that's a JRPG chicken. I'm assuming that's a JRPG sheep. And we have the raw materials, we just don't have the money. And I think that's part of where the slog is coming in, is that I'm just not making money fast enough.
What are your options for making money? Is it just the farming?
So far, it is just the farming and throwing stuff in the shipping box.
Do you get materials from going out into the world and doing quests or whatever?
Yes. So we'll get seeds. We'll get some money. Actually, the questing mechanic just opened up for us.
Oh, wow.
And hey, you know, I'm not one to judge, but I think that's pretty late. They've just kind of been streamlining stories. So, for instance, you know, we haven't been able to take quests until like maybe about half an hour ago in game time, where we're at in the story. This is like chapter 3. So now we can talk to this woman in town. She'll have a quest for us. There's dialogue options. I haven't found them to guide the story in any particular way so far.
Sure.
The story itself, you know, tell me if you heard this one before. We're a protagonist that wakes up and we're running from something, and then we forget who we are, only to be found by this town to just take us in, and that we have to help save the town.
That's fantastical.
Yeah.
It's very original. I mean, listen, I get why all the games do that. My question is, are you getting on with the characters? Are you building relationships that you care about, Jan? Is there someone you're trying to kiss?
I think there might be someone I'm trying to kiss, but I don't even know. I don't know. I haven't. The story is mildly interesting. There's potentially some like time traveling stuff, but then the greater overall story, it's just kind of meh. Just a big scoop of meh. And you know, the farming part of the game isn't really well integrated. It's kind of just like, hey, this house that's vacant, you can live in it, and I guess while you're here, you could farm. That's chill. Another quality of life thing that is sorely needed in this is the ability to fast forward through text, or just like instant text speed.
Oh yeah, sure. Something I would expect in most games these days.
Yes. Unfortunately, that is not the case here.
Oh, that's rough.
So here in town, we could visit the renovator, like we just saw. There is a person that sells seeds and other various bits and bobs. Person that can upgrade our weapons, and then a person that can sell us animals. We don't have the proper facilities yet. Look at this little guy.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the game looks very cute. I like the art design. I think, the idea of Square Enix making a Stardew, making it a JRPG, and giving it production values all sounds like a winning formula to me.
Yes. Unfortunately, they messed up something in the formula. Maybe
right. There seems like some basics here, some foundations weren't put in place, and
definitely a lot of like underbaked elements. Like, I hate the fact that the only time I can save is when I go to one of these things.
Yeah, that's really frustrating.
Well, and the unfortunate part is these are far and few between in like the dungeon areas we'll go to.
Right.
And like these also serve as fast travel points. But the problem is like you have to use an item that like these bells. These will take us home. And then so we'll have to go back to that said area on the overworld, hit up the waypoint, and then kind of ever so slightly get to where we need to go. So here, just as we're like kind of like faffing about, time is quickly progressing.
Yeah.
And the quietus is something we want to avoid, which is basically when it gets to 6 p.m. And that's when it's kind of lights out and you are more susceptible to virtually everything. So I've had instances here where I'm like, not that I'm forgetting where to go, but I'm like, oh, maybe I'll stop by the town. No, you know what? I'll just go back here. And then I've wasted like 2 hours.
Oh, geez, yeah. Yeah, that seems another thing that's like pretty... I don't know. Have you been able to plan out your day efficiently? That's a lot. A lot of people get a lot of joy out of that in the Stardew Valley, where they're like, okay, I'm going to do this and this, and I'm going to use all my time as wisely as possible. Have you had a lot of opportunities to do that yet? Or is it just kind of like, there's not much to do, and then when I do figure out something, it takes up a lot of time?
I think I'm more in the latter camp where maybe it's on me. Like I'm not planning my day out that much, but in the span of planting those seeds, watering them, and just running around town and talking to that woman, it's already 6 p.m. and we've kind of lost the day.
Yeah, that was very brisk. Yeah.
So, now that we're back in our home here, we can cook. Unfortunately, cooking is limited to when you have a recipe. You can't just cook the raw materials. I think in my chest here, I just have straight up meat that I can't cook.
Whoa.
And like in Breath of the Wild, you could cook your raw foods to just,
right.
Give them a little bit of a boost. That's not the case here, unfortunately. There's also crafting, so we could craft that return bell that'll bring us back home. These repair kits are absolutely necessary when we explore the dungeons, because these... Okay, you need a repair kit to create a shortcut. So, like in a Dark Souls, where you would just hit a button to lower a ladder, or lower a drawbridge.
Here, the ladder and drawbridge are broken until you fix them.
Yep.
Basically.
Yep.
Okay.
So
it's just a kind of a layer of obfuscation that seems unnecessary, but okay.
Yeah. And then this recently just got unlocked are these fairy orders, which are kind of like daily-ish quests, or just overarching tracking quests.
Right, things that you might be doing anyhow that gives you a little bit extra reward.
Yeah.
We saw something similar in Dreamlight Valley, right?
Yeah, and I think it was handled much better there. I think the overall farming and progression was surprisingly handled much better in Disney Dreamlight Valley.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not even just me, like in the character models, we'll say.
Sure.
Sure. And I'm desperately trying not to poo-poo on this game too much, but it just leaves a.
You know what, Jan? After 6 hours,
more.
Yeah, you not enjoying it, I think it's totally fine to just be like, you know what, this one isn't living up to snuff.
Yeah.
It definitely, like I said, I like the concept. Seeing the way it actually works in practice, you've shown this to me. I'm like, okay, I was gonna boot this up. I'm fine. There's a million other farming games. I have so many other options. I am not interested in this anymore. Like just seeing like this being the like what you've done with your farm over 6 hours, that seems very limited. I like Stardew Valley because in about 6 hours you get through like a whole year of seasons and you'd be able to like start your next one or whatever, or get nearly through a year. And it's like you can have a lot of plants, a lot of different crops, build up a lot of different relationships. It's I'm good. I have a different other games at my disposal to deliver the same thing that seem to be doing it a lot better.
Right. Yes, 100%. And okay, I don't quite know how our farm expanded. I don't remember buying that upgrade, but it's expanded now, I guess.
All right, well, there you go.
So, real quick, well, with these small rocks, you just bash them with your hammer. There's an ability that is tied to that fairy book I showed you.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Where you need to complete some of those quests to unlock the charge ability to properly take care of these big boy rocks.
Okay.
All right, well, let's just look at what the dungeon stuff is like.
Yeah, that sounds good.
But yeah, I don't know, 6.5 hours, like, it's a completely different game. But Xenoblade Chronicles 3, I was enraptured from the get-go.
Right.
Okay, so, we have a party, I guess.
All right. Yeah, I saw this lady in your house.
Right. Arya is, oh gosh, she's maybe from the future, and she decided to hang out with us and join us.
All right, you know, like they do.
Yeah. There's also a job system when it comes to the combat. I just haven't found any of it to be too involved or interesting enough. Like, you have a skill tree, you have job points where you can unlock more skills and everything. And maybe the combat will get better as you go along, but I kind of wish it was just better.
Right. Okay. Yeah, and it's is it real time, turn based? Is it
It's real time.
Okay, and you're like Kingdom Hearts or what?
So it is just mashing X.
Okay.
And if you notice there, I kind of took a lot of damage. And
oh yeah, look at that.
Unless I missed a tooltip, there is no block.
A block or dodge. I see you zooming around. Would you? It kind of doesn't matter though. If they target you and attack, probably even if you're moving around, they're probably still going to hit you, right?
Like the only type of projection is like that small circle there, but that doesn't always happen with every single attack.
Right.
And then look, we're already super low on health. I guess I'll go drink some juice to heal the both of us. And hey, maybe we wind up coming across a healer character.
Yeah, maybe, but I mean, can I tell you what I think has happened? I think what's happened here is the game is pretty light on actual content, and so they slowed everything down by making enemies do more damage, so you can only get so far in these dungeons, and by expanding your farm only very slowly. That's what it feels like. Yeah. I'm looking at this after 6 hours.
It feels like a game that is artificially slowing and stalling your progress. Yes. You're 100% right. And okay, now our backpack is full, so this excursion is.
And putting up hurdles is a big part of farming games, absolutely. But you still got to have the carrot, in addition to the stick, and it's just not really. I don't know. It seems like it's not balancing that at the very least.
No, not at all. Occasionally you'll see these bigger enemies. Oh god.
These guys.
Okay, all right, guys. Please, guys, please.
Guys, come on, guys. Come on, guys.
You'll see those bigger enemies. You generally want to avoid them because you're nowhere near equipped to take them on. We also have skills. It is on that right trigger there. Oh, okay, so this is the other frustrating part. So it is charging, but then it says right trigger there. And you would assume, okay, that's what I press to trigger the skill, you have to hold RT
Sure.
and then hit Y.
Right.
And then you can also switch jobs this way, but then there's a cooldown. And even these different jobs aren't that great. So what we're currently doing here is we're on kind of like in a fork to pursue these 3 quests. There's also a social link type of thing going on where you check in on some of the named characters. And these are supposed to progress the story here. But that being said, I'm just not super interested. And these ones that are just like a white exclamation mark, these are just side quests. And then memo is just like general stuff of like, okay, cool, you've done this. All right, sick. And it's 10 a.m. and we can't really do squat now. It's raining, so that's gonna automatically water our farm here. I'm just gonna try. Okay, right, our thing is full. Can we?
Backpack is full. Yeah.
No, our health is full. We don't need to drink any juice. I'll fully admit that the inventory management was on me. I could have emptied my bag.
Sure. Yeah.
Like, look, we're super low on stamina already. Oh, good. We're super low on stamina already.
Yeah.
We won't be able to run away.
It's not like a combat stamina that's going to replenish when you stop running. That's like your daily stamina, right?
Yes, that is our daily stamina that we can kind of replenish through eating food.
Right. Yes, through eating food, but that's a big mechanic of its own. Yeah, you seem.
Oh boy.
Tough situation here.
Oh boy. I'm just gonna run and maybe find. Oh god.
Yeah. Wow.
Like that was barely projected. That was
Yeah.
barely projected there. And you'll occasionally have like these like, oh, these are random oh god. Random instances here. Maybe you'll find a bag of mushrooms. Maybe you'll just die. Yeah, like the combat just okay, cool. I guess we got a waypoint now. Sick.
There you go.
Yeah, let's take a break. Oh, okay. I guess we can't take a break because we don't have any usable items. I'm just gonna go home.
Yeah. Hey, let's see, unlock that thing. Now, can you use that thing going forward?
So the bummer part, Jeff, is that you would assume that, right?
Right. I think there's a chance it's possible, but it's also possible that those dungeons are randomly generated. That's the way it often works, and so that won't be there for you next time.
Thankfully, the dungeons are not randomly generated.
Okay.
Thank God. But the problem is that fast travel system is kind of isolated to that specific dungeon or area.
All right.
So, yes, we've unlocked the fast travel, but we would have to physically go to that location in the overworld to fast travel back there. And that just seems like another instance of artificially making the game more obtuse. Okay,
right.
My backpack is full. I get it. Artificially obtuse to just take up more time. And even in the combat, I found myself under-leveled. The leveling, I guess it is based off of how many enemies you're taking care of and how much you were selling during the day. So, maybe I'm not properly scheduling my time where, cucumbers. I'm not properly scheduling my time to like, okay, today's a farming day. I'm going to focus on farming versus today is an exploration day. I'm just going to explore because I want to be able to do both. And maybe that's on me. Well,
I mean, I think to me, it seems like the reason you want to do both is because neither one is fulfilling on its own. And so, yeah, I mean, you probably do have to pick one or the other, but it's like, well, there's just not much to the farming. So have a farming day. That was kind of pointless, or feels pointless, at least at this point.
Okay, hold on. Because I'm completely out of stamina now, so I can't really do anything.
Yeah.
Stamina spent working on the farm, lost amount by eating food, even you're hungry. Okay, so if I just ate a bunch of stuff right now, will that take care of my stamina issues? Eat the sweet.
Yeah, eat that wheat.
Okay.
That didn't do much.
It's slowly refilling.
Okay.
But then
why slowly refill though? Come on.
I guess like, okay, cool, we can plant this carrot seed. Yeah, that's Harvestella. I've been told that it's supposed to get better. I don't think I'm quite interested in venturing out.
Yeah, I think that's probably gonna be like a good exit ramp. We got in there, we looked it out. You gave it an extra time. I think 6 hours is a fair shake.
Yeah, I may put it out to pasture and
so to speak.
Yeah. Because hey, I don't know. On paper, I think I would really, really like this game, but
agreed.
In execution, oh boy, well, it's just a no.
Yeah, it seems like maybe maybe the game does well enough. Maybe they try Harvestella 2. They can really streamline a lot of this stuff and add a lot. I think there's something here still. It's just not quite there yet.
Yeah. Like this feels like it looks kind of like a Bravely Default with like almost pseudo chibi characters, but it's not doing it for me, Jeff. I need more. I not only need more farming now. I need more cake.
You need more meat on those bones. Yeah. I hear you.
Yeah. Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks, Jan.